Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the 1,242nd Public Hearing and Regular Meeting of the Livonia City Planning Commission. I wish to inform all interested persons in our audience that for petitions on tonight's agenda, which involve a question of zoning, the Planning Commission will make a recommendation to City Council, and the City Council, after holding their own public hearing, makes the final determination as to whether the petition is approved or denied. The Planning Commission will hold the only public hearing on requests for preliminary plats and/or vacating petitions. The Commission's recommendation is forwarded to City Council for the final determination as to whether the petition is accepted or rejected. If a petition requesting a waiver of use or a site plan is denied tonight, the petitioner will have 10 days in which to appeal the decision in writing to City Council. Resolutions adopted by the City Planning Commission become effective 7 days after the date of adoption. The Planning Commission and professional staff have reviewed each of these petitions. Upon their filing, the staff has furnished the Commission with both approving and denying resolutions, which the Commission may or may not use depending on the outcome of the proceedings tonight. If our Secretary is ready, please call the roll.
Mr. Bonjero is absent. Mr. Long?
Here.
Mr. DeNaro is absent. Mr. Droz?
Here.
Mr. Ventura is absent. Mr. Caremagno is here. Chairman Wilshaw.
Is here. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Also with us tonight, we have Jacob Uhazi. We also have Stephanie Reese from our Planning Department. And for folks in our audience that have not been to one of our meetings, the way the meeting works is we'll call each of the items on our agenda. Our planning staff will give background information about the petition, and then we'll ask the petitioner to come forward and speak to it. We may have some questions for them, and then if anybody else in the audience is wishing to speak on an item, there'll be an opportunity for them to speak for or against it before we make our decision. With that, we're going to start on the public hearing section of our agenda, item number 1.
Petition 2026-01-02-01, submitted by Great Lakes Pawn, requesting waiver use approval under Section 3.11 and Section 6.45 of Livonia zoning ordinance as amended for outdoor display of merchandise at 27675 Grand River Avenue, located on the south side of Grand River between 8 Mile Road and Antago Street in the northeast quarter of Section 1.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Uhazi, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request to add outdoor displays of merchandise to the front and rear of the existing pawn shop. The pawn shop is located on the south side of Grand River Avenue, where the business has operated continuously at this location since 2015. The petitioner is seeking authorization to allow for the seasonal outdoor display of their merchandise. The site is approximately 0.25 acres in size, with about 69 feet of frontage along Grand River. The existing zoning is C2, and all the adjoining properties are zoned C2 as well. Under Section 6.45 of the zoning ordinance, outdoor sales, storage, or outdoor display of merchandise is prohibited, but when the business opened in 2015, outside storage for merchandise in pawn shops was not strictly prohibited under the existing zoning ordinance at the time. It was against the city ordinance, though. Some background on this. This was determined that by the law department that the best course of action was to get a waiver use for the allowed outdoor storage. The proposal includes the 2 outdoor display areas. The first is located in the front of the building underneath their awning, kind of highlighted here. You can also see here in this picture. The second is located at the rear of the parking lot, highlighted here. We have evidence of them having outdoor storage maintained in a orderly fashion going back to 2016 for reference. And with that, Mr. Chair, I have some correspondence I can also read.
Yes, if you'd like to read the correspondence, please.
From the Engineering Division, in accordance with your request, the Engineering Division has reviewed the above referenced petition. We have no objections to the proposed project at this time, but would like to note the following items. 1, the subject parcel is assigned the address of 27675 Grand River Avenue. Should additional addresses be needed, the owner will need to contact this department once approvals have been obtained. 2, the existing parcel is currently serviced by public sanitary sewer and water main. The submitted drawings do not include any proposed utility information or calculations, so we cannot comment on any proposed impacts to the existing system, but we do not believe the proposed usage will adversely affect the existing utilities. Should alterations to the existing services be required, the owner shall submit drawings to this department to determine if permits will be required. 3, any disturbances within the Grand River right-of-way, including replacement of the drive approach or sidewalk, will require permitting through the Michigan Department of Transportation. 4, handicap parking space and sign attached to building include trash receptacle obstruction adjacent to parking space should be reviewed to ensure proper pavement markings along with the other parking spaces meet ordinance. Removal of the existing concrete orange light pole base at east side of the drive approach should be reviewed since there is no existing light pole attached. This is signed Todd Zillick, City Engineer. For the Police Department, I have reviewed the petition in connection with the petition. I have no objections to the proposal. The only public safety concern regarding this proposal would be maintaining clear and unobstructed public sidewalk access in front of the building, along with clear, unobstructed views of oncoming traffic from patrons leaving the business on the north and south driveways of the business. Signed, Brendan Adams, Sergeant of the Traffic Bureau. From the Department of Inspection, pursuant to your request, the above referenced petition has been reviewed. The parking lot should be repaired or replaced as needed. The parking spaces shall be 10 by 20 and double striped, and spaces are currently faded and not visible. 3, the barrier-free van accessible parking space and access area shall be properly sized, signed, and striped. 4, there's no enclosure provided on the site for the dumpster. An enclosure shall be installed in accordance with the ordinance requirements. A building permit inspection would be required for this. 5, the 2 light poles bases that no longer have light poles installed shall be removed. 6, the outside storage shall not impede the required number of parking spaces or any walkways or exit. This department has no further objections to the petition. Signed, Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection. From the Finance Department, I reviewed the address connected with the above noted petition. As there are no outstanding amounts receivable, I have no objections to the proposal. Signed, Benjamin Greer. From the Fire Department, this office has reviewed the site plan submitted in connection with the exterior displays of seasonal items of the property located at the above referenced petition. No objections to this proposal with this stipulation. Displays cannot obscure the name of the business or obscure the numeric address, which should be displayed on the address side of the building with numbers that contrast in color to the exterior finish of the building. Do not fully obscure the windows or entrance doors so that emergency situation the fire department can see inside the structure to accurately assess interior conditions. Signed, Brian Kukla, Fire Marshal. And finally, from the Treasury Department, the owner of this property is current on their property taxes. Signed, Susan Nash, City Treasurer.
All right, thank you, Mr. Uhazy. Is there any questions for staff? If not, our petitioner is in the audience. Feel free to come to our podium. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
We'll just ask you to start with your name and address.
Randy Sokin, business address,
That's fine.
27675 Grand River.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Sokin. And what would you like to tell us about your request?
We're just simply requesting reapproval for the outside displays for sales, seasonal items. We've been in business since 2011. There was a name change in 15, so that's why you're only seeing it at that time.
Okay.
We've never had any issues. We've always complied with city inspections, police departments, fire marshals, everything, we complied. We're just simply trying to get it approved, as it's kind of hurting our sales a little bit because we do pawn these items as well. And we just been kind of limited on taking them in because we haven't been selling them as fast as we usually do. So it does increase foot traffic having that storefront and also having it in the back parking lot. We've always kept it right just before the sidewalk. Pedestrians never had any issues. Customers love it. In the back parking lot, it doesn't even take a parking space. It's a 16 by 16 little square just near the back door. So it's not interfering with any parking spaces. So we're just asking for the approval again, and if we can continue to do that.
Okay.
And it's displayed between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and everything's brought right back in. So it's not stored outside. We chain everything up just for safety as well. and then we just put everything back inside.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Sokin. Is there any questions for our petitioner? Mr. Droz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question.
Sure.
There was a couple items noted in engineering, building, and fire. Are you planning to do, like there was a mention of the dumpster enclosure, restriping the parking lot? Is that part of this, or I guess maybe respond to those
So
requests?
we can definitely comply with all of that. As of right now, we came forward with the approval for the outside, sales and displays. We are renovating the parking lot as we speak. I think it may take place this season. We might be repaving it all. I'm not sure what their plans are, but that is a part of, the outdoor construction, I guess.
Okay.
You can say, definitely.
Okay,
And then if
great.
you guys want to include the barricading the trash can or the dumpster, definitely we can, take that into consideration. Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Soka. I'm good, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Droz.
I'm good. That's where I was going.
Very good. Any other questions for the petitioner? Good, all right. Anybody in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm Jerry Karasinski. I live at 19488 Bainbridge. I just wanted to point out one thing that hasn't come up with this. There is another pawn shop in Farmington on the north side of 8 Mile, about a quarter mile west, and I believe they also allow outside display of items. So this would just keep the petitioner competitive with another business that's near them.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Krasinski.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this item? No one else? Mr. Sokin, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us before we make our decision?
You guys summed it all up for us, and I'm just hoping that you guys can continue to allow us to do that. It will be a great help to our business, of course.
Okay.
All right.
Let's, I'm going to close the public hearing, and I'm going to go to my colleagues to see if there's a motion.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Mr. Droz.
I'd like to make an approving resolution. The request for a waiver use to permit the outdoor display of merchandise at Great Lakes Pawn at 27675 Grand River Avenue is hereby approved with the following, for the following reasons, subject to city council approval and the following conditions. One, that the outdoor displays of merchandise shall be permitted only during regular business hours, which were stated at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. All items shall be removed from the exterior of the property and stored indoors at the close of each business day. No overnight or outdoor storage shall be permitted. Outdoor displays shall be limited to the specific areas depicted on the approved site plan. Displays shall not encroach into required parking spaces, drive aisles, fire lanes, accessible roads, landscape areas, or the public right-of-way. The total square footage of outdoor display areas shall be clearly defined and shall not be expanded without further approval from the Planning Commission. All displays shall be maintained in a neat and orderly manner. Merchandise shall be arranged in an organized fashion and shall not create visual blight, safety hazards, obstructions or of pedestrians or vehicle circulation. And the waiver is limited to this application and can only be transferred to another user with the approval of City Council. And then I'd also add that the applicant complies with the recommendations of the engineering, building, and fire departments regarding the parking lot and the dumpster on site.
Okay, is there support for that motion?
Support.
The motion has been made by Mr. Droz, supported by Mr. Long with an
With the
additional
addendum.
condition. And is there any discussion on that motion? If not, if the secretary is ready, please call the roll on a motion to approve.
Mr. Gross.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Caremagna votes aye. Chairman Wilshaw.
Votes aye, motion passes. We'll go to city council with an approving recommendation.
All right, thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
One more question.
Of course.
Regarding the parking lot striping, the light posts and the dumpster, will we receive a letter for that, or do we have to follow up with you guys?
I think you can follow up with our planning department.
Okay.
They can give you those, the
Just,
details.
I'm not sure if there's a timestamp on that or whatnot, so I know the parking lot is definitely being considered for repaving and whatnot. I just didn't know how much time we had, or just communicate with them.
Yeah, you can work with the staff. They'll help you with determining the timeline on that.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
think we'll certainly work with you. We're reasonable.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Appreciate
All right.
everything.
Thank you, sir.
You guys have a good night.
You too. We move on to item number 2 on our agenda.
Petition 2026-01-02-02, submitted by J&J Land Holdings LLC, requesting waiver use under sections 3.11 and 6.26 of the Livonia zoning ordinance as amended to construct a gas station, including a convenience store and carry-out restaurant at 13400 Newburgh Road, located at the southeast corner of Newburgh and Schoolcraft Roads in the northwest quarter of Section 29.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Uhazy?
Thank you. This is a request to construct a gas station, including the convenience store and carry-out restaurant at the property that has recently begun the rezoning process with this, through Planning Commission and had its first reading with City Council. This is the next step in that process. The location is on the southeast corner of Newburgh and Schoolcraft Road. The size of the property is roughly 0.68 acres. It has approximately 172 feet of frontage on Newburgh Road and 173 feet of frontage on Schoolcraft. The existing site contains a one-story industrial building that totals about 6,800 square feet in size and is currently vacant, which was previously occupied by the Bering Service Company. As I mentioned, the current zoning is M1. It is in the process of being changed to C2 with the second reading of City Council if this moves forward. The adjacent properties to the east, west, and south are all industrial properties, and to the north is the I-96 Expressway and Schoolcraft Road. Gasoline service stations are permitted in the C2 district subject to waiver use approval. The site plan shows that the northwest annex and the front 10 feet of the main building would be removed. So this area shown here would be removed. The remaining building would stay intact and then expanded upon. The site plan shows a 2-story gasoline service station measuring about 70 feet by 80 feet for a total gross floor area of 6,240 square feet in size. The plan shows 4 pumps with space for 8 cars. The pump island would run parallel to Schoolcraft Road. An overhead canopy would cover the fuel dispensers. The ordinance states that the canopy can be no higher than 18 feet in size. Setbacks for the site include 68 feet from Newburgh Road and 80 feet from Schoolcraft Road. There's a 12-foot setback from the southern property line and 23 feet from the eastern property line. This does conform to all required setbacks under the zoning ordinance. Access to the site would be off the existing access would remain off Schoolcraft Road and Newburgh Road. A third access drive is shown on the Schoolcraft Road between the existing drive and the corner. There is also an existing easement with the property to the east, shown here. The floor plan shows a carry-out restaurant with approximately 610 square feet in size and 2 expected employees. This is using the calculation for the required parking. Required parking for gas stations is 8 spaces, 1 per pump, and the site plan shows a total of 13 double-stripe parking spaces, with one of them being ADA compliant. The total number for the carryout and gas station would be 16 required spaces. The ordinance does allow us to use alternative calculations for parking requirements under the ITE manual. Under this manual, the food service would require only 2 spaces for a site total of 10 spaces, which would comply with the zoning ordinance requirements. The site does have 4 vehicle charging stations that are shown on along Newburgh Road, or I should say the Newburgh side of the property. The EV charging stations shall be permitted to a height of 8 feet and a width of 4 feet, including any sign that is part or attached to the equipment, and any sign shall not exceed 2 square feet. And no EV charging station shall be located closer than 10 feet from any public right-of-way, and no EV charging station shall be located within any part of the public right-of-way without the prior written approval of the authority having jurisdiction over the right-of-way. EV charging stations shall not encroach upon or inhibit the use of the pedestrian walkways, which this does not appear to violate any of those standards. The site plan or the landscape plan was submitted. It does show a total of 7 trees, 3 ornamental trees, and 48 shrubs, which is short of the required 8 deciduous trees, 4 ornamental trees, and 69 shrubs that is required under the zoning ordinance. The dumpster is proposed in the southeast corner of the property. The access gates would face north towards the pumps and Schoolcraft Road, and the gates would be made of solid panel steel or fiberglass. The closure is shown to be made of the same brick material as the principal building. A light plan was submitted as part of the petition, and it shows that light on site is satisfactory as light does not bleed into any neighboring properties. The floor plan submitted shows a large retail area, cashier counter, machine room, storage rooms, freezer, restrooms, and a future carry-out food service area on the first floor with storage areas located on the second floor. Elevations show a combination of new construction and facade improvements to the existing building. The building design incorporates a mix of masonry and panel materials with horizontal and vertical articulation elements. The north elevation indicates a peaked tower feature is shown in the center of the building above the main entrance. The existing facade would be upgraded with ACM pre-finished metal panels and prairie stone. A revised western elevation was submitted per the request of this body to include a window as well as ACM and a top-tier soffit to incorporate more design elements and an additional sign. Some sign elements are shown on the building, including a 20 square foot carryout sign, the front entrance sign being 56.25 square feet in size, and a pylon sign is shown in the updated drawings and the rendering. One note is that pylon signs are not permitted under the zoning ordinance. Gas stations are allowed 1 ground sign not to exceed 40 square feet in size and a height of 12 feet, and that is required to be set back 5 feet from the right-of-way. We did receive some renderings showing that updated facade and the western facade as well. One thing to note is that a free air is required to be added to at any gas station. They did add a free air machine along the eastern property or building side by the dumpster, so that has been satisfied as well. I also have some correspondence I can read.
Sure, if you could.
From the Engineering Division. In accordance with your request, the Engineering Division has reviewed the above referenced petition. We have no objections to the proposed project at this time, but would like to note the following items. 1, the subject parcels are assigned the addresses of 13400 Newburgh Road. Should additional addresses be needed, the owner will need to contact this department once approvals have been obtained. 2, the existing parcel is currently serviced by public sanitary water, sewer, and water main, as well as private stormwater. The developer will need to submit full engineering drawings and calculations to this department for permitting once approvals for the site plan have been received. Based on the submitted drawings, we have the following comments. 1, sanitary sewer. The drawings do not include a basis of design for the proposed sanitary sewer, so we are not able to determine if capacity in the existing system is available. Once proposed sanitary sewer flows are provided, we will be able to determine impacts to the existing system. 2, water main. The drawings indicate that the existing water service will be reused. However, if the water service lead needs to be increased for the facility allowing proposed food services, then determination of new water meter size will be required with associated fees. 3, stormwater sewer. The drawings indicate that the existing private storm sewer is to be modified. Due to the size of the project, no detention is required. However, a water quality treatment structure may be required on the existing 10-inch storm storm line on private property line prior to discharging into the storm inlet located on Newburgh Road, south of the drive approach. And finally, sidewalk to be installed along the Newburgh Road frontage property with an ADA ramp to the southeast corner of Newburgh at westbound Schoolcraft, routing pedestrians both north and west to existing receiving ramps. No sidewalk will be required along the frontage of Schoolcraft due to the existing DTE poles and utility box. Side, Todd Zillick, City Engineer. From the Fire Department, the office has reviewed the site plan submitted in connection with this new construction / modification and the use of the property located at the above referenced address. No objections to the proposal with the stipulation. Other than warming, if grease-laden vapors are produced during cooking operations, a suppression system will be required. If the building itself is suppressed and the OH door is a panel-type roll-up catering, creating an obstruction under the door panel 4 feet or greater, suppression may be required. Any site-specific issues will be addressed during the life safety inspection. A further detailed review will take place once the division receives an official plan set. Signed, Brian Kukla, Fire Marshal. From the Police Department, I have reviewed the plans in connection with the petition. I have no objections to the proposal. Signed, Brendan Adams, Sergeant of the Traffic Bureau. From the Inspection Department, pursuant to your request, the above referenced petition has been reviewed. 1, signage shall be conforming. A variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals would be required for any non-conforming signage. This department has no further objections to the petition. Signed, Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection. From the Director of Finance, I have reviewed the address connected with the above noted petition. As there are no outstanding amounts receivable, I have no objection to the proposal. Signed, Benjamin Greer, Director of Finance. From the Treasury Department, the owner of the property is current on their property taxes. Signed, Susan Nash, City Treasurer. And finally, from the public to whom it may concern, I represent the building ownership of both buildings immediately east of 13400 Newburgh Road, the addresses of which are 37107 Schoolcraft and 37037-37055 Schoolcraft. We have a couple of concerns regarding the above-mentioned petition waiver and are confident that you will consider the same and act to remediate and or mitigate any potential issues resulting from the granting of this petition as submitted. Issue 1, the current site plan shows a dumpster enclosure located within an existing ingress and egress agreement held by us. We believe that relocating the dumpster enclosure out of the easement to the west and reorienting to the dumpster across from the north to the west would remedy any easement encumbrances. Issue 2, we believe it is reasonable to assume that this waiver use will result in a significant increase in automobile traffic. Our concern is that the current site plan does not provide to prevent motorists from freely trespassing across the easement onto our property in an attempt to access Schoolcraft Road. I can assure you that this will become a daily and ongoing issue if not addressed. Thank you for hearing our concerns. We look forward to any appropriate resolution. Signed, Thomas Crable, Managing Member. And that is all I have with this petition.
Thank you, Mr. Uhazy. Any questions for staff? Our petitioners in the audience, feel free to come to our podium. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Start with your name and address.
My name is Stephen Hamadi. The address is 13400 Newburgh Road.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Hamadi. What would you like to tell us about your request to get this waiver use approval?
Well, as we met last week, you had some concerns regarding the couple of changes. We met those. I'm looking forward to having this fueling station. It's going to brighten up the corner. It's going to revive, make it more of a commerce area. And it's an added plus that is well needed in the area. And that's why I'm considering making a sizable investment.
Okay, understood. Let's see if we have some questions for you. Any questions from my colleagues? Mr. Droz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Hamadi, there was a letter in the packet regarding the access to the east. I guess, do you have any thoughts about whether you could move that dumpster to access off of Newburgh?
Mr. Droz, I respectfully respect that Mr. Crable. He has his dumpster, he had it on my property, and that's historically been there all along. Anywhere that dumpster is moved, it's going to be a safety hazard, it's going to be a hindrance, it's going to look horrible off of Newburgh. It does not represent the investment I'm making there. And I would highly appreciate if you look at it closely. It's out of the way. It's a one-time-a-week pickup. It's the same thing he's dealing with. His dumpster is without an enclosure. And, you know, I had discussions with him about, you know, being a great neighbor. He utilizes my entrance, and I have no issue with that. We will be sharing cost of maintaining the asphalt and the entrance. And on the contrary, his hours are very limited compared to what we would be at 24 hours. We'll make his places safe because it'll be well lit, won't be dark. And I think we looked at it in so many ways. The dumpster, that truck pulling in and out and dumping anywhere else is going to be an issue.
I just wanted to ask, because
Sure.
it is your property, it is an easement, so I just wanted to get your side of the story. So.
Thank you.
And then my only other question was, between the renderings that we have here, the architectural plans versus the rendering in the packet, or what we see on the screen here, they're a little, well, they're actually fairly different. Which one is your plan? Is it this one that we're looking at on the screen, or the one that's in the plan set?
Unfortunately, I was trying to accommodate your request of having a rendering that's up to date. That was the original rendering that we did, and I could not, because we changed the elevations and all that, the person that's doing the rendering was not able to satisfy the timeline that we had. So going forward, when we get in front of the City Council, we will have beautiful rendering that is going to represent what we have on the blueprints. And I can assure you it's going to be a gorgeous building.
I think the only comment about the materials was the, I think it's called prairie stone that you have.
It's a limestone.
So
Yeah.
if it's more of a stacked limestone, I think that would seem to be more appropriate versus, I think prairie stone, I almost understand, is like a cobble,
Yeah,
almost like a
no, yeah.
farmhouse
That's
type.
just a typo. It's a limestone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that
It's a
helps.
very high-end limestone with curved edges. It will look very, accommodate the ACMs that we will be installing.
Okay. All right, I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Droz. Any other questions? Mr. Long?
Is it your intention to have this open 24 hours?
Yes.
Do we have any other gas stations along the freeway that are open 24 hours?
Along the freeway, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Long.
Mr. Chairman,
Camargo.
I got a couple questions. So, just for clarity, the building's going to look more like what we're seeing in the drawings, or more like what we're going to see in the picture?
The building is going to look more like that's in the drawings.
Okay.
The brick is going to be stay the same as the rendering.
Okay.
We are utilizing the existing brick. It's a beautiful old brick that is really nice. It's very hard to find these days, a brick like that. So we're going to make it, you know, kind of transitional. And that's the, we also added, by the way, we added one more on the top of the building, a soffit that's going to span 2 feet out, 24 inches out, and it's going to be 18 inches thick. with downspout lighting, soft lighting, shining over the other soffit.
Okay. Next question I've got for you. So I'm looking at the picture, the color picture. I'm seeing brick around the uprights for the canopy. Is that we're going to have in the real final product as well?
That one, I have not decided on. I have to see what Shell is going to be approving. We're in process of signing contract with them.
Okay.
And depending if they approve it or not, they have a specific look for the canopy, how it should look like. But if I'm allowed and if the city likes it, we will do brick or ACMs.
It looks tasteful the way the color drawing looks right now. So it looks good. I'm saying
If you
that.
like it, we'll do it.
And then the other thing I've got for you, question-wise, is what is your timeline here? If you have timely approvals, what's your timeline for putting this thing together?
I want to be open up in the summer.
That quick, eh?
I'm ready.
Okay. And fuel, what fuels are you going to offer here?
I'm sorry.
What fuels are you going to offer here?
We're going to have recreational fuel, 100% non-ethanol fuel, because it's a industrial area and it will serve the area right for people who have different machines that require non-ethanol fuel. We're going to have low sulfur diesel for smaller trucks, not for big trucks, and we're going to have regular fuel, Shell fuel, super.
Okay, so regular, mid-grade,
Correct.
super unleaded. And what kind of, how big of tank you putting in the ground, or tanks?
We're proposing to install 2 tanks, one 20,000 gallon tank and one 12,000 gallon tank.
Okay, they're split accordingly
Yes,
to
they
the
split
different
4.
commodities.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, any other questions for our petitioner? Mr. Droz?
One more,
course.
be quick. Sheet A3, you have a pylon sign. We talked about it at the study session.
Yes.
I don't think that will be something that happens, just from my understanding of how ZBA will look at that. So just, I guess, be aware that it'll probably have to be a different sign.
We're going to try.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a highway, like I said before, it's basically a highway fueling station, and it would really represent the brand and also make that station noticeable.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Droz. Anything else from any of my colleagues? Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Feel free to come forward.
2 people.
We have 2 people. Good evening again.
Good evening, Jerry Kersinski, 19488 Bainbridge Avenue. I just have a question. So on the south side of that property, there's existing trees. How are especially over the dumpster area?
Sir,
Are those
ask the
trees?
questions to me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you find out if those trees are going to remain or if they're affected at all
Those are along the south property line?
on the south property line?
We will ask.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you, sir. There's one other person, I believe, in the audience wishing to speak. Oh, there you are. Good evening.
Good evening, Commissioners. Tom Crable, 33640 Schoolcraft in Livonia, representing the property owners next door, immediately to the east of this property. First off, I'd like to say, I've had a chance to review the plans, and I'd very much like to support the petitioner. I do have 2 concerns, which I outlined in a letter. One is that there is a dumpster enclosure that is proposed within an easement that I hold. That won't be permitted, so that dumpster is going to have to be removed or relocated. I made a suggestion, not that it's my place, but and maybe there's something beyond what I'm seeing, but there is an aisleway along the south side of the building off of Newburgh, and it appears that that dumpster could simply be rotated and positioned so that it could be unloaded off of that. this is the first I'm learning of a air dispenser, but, our easement is clearly for ingress and egress and cannot be encumbered. So I don't know, at first glance, I'm thinking that, people parking and filling up their tires will impede our customers from parking. And our parking, I don't know if, Jacob, you could pull up that site plan. Our parking, this easement is used so that we can, get in and out of our parking area. And then the other thing, which is the biggest item, is, this was obviously an industrial zoning before it was rezoned or is in the process. We have no barrier between the properties. I don't think that exists anywhere in the city. Every single gas station that I know of has either a fence or some type of landscape barrier. I'm assuming the zoning might be able to help me out with this, but I'm assuming that because of the amount of traffic, this property, when it was industrial, it's very light traffic. So we have 3 buildings that have continuous parking and drive aisles across the front of them. And I don't think that anybody would argue that, there's not going to be, if somebody's waiting to get out on Schoolcraft Road, the immediate thing is going to be for, them to just drive to the next, entrance. So we're concerned about that and also safety. But, I do want to make it clear, I've tried to reach out to the petitioner on a couple occasions. I haven't spoke to him or know him, but seems like a nice enough fellow. I'm sure that we could figure something out. But, possibly, I know might not be ideal, but possibly some type of landscape curbing, from the corner of the building out to the front. That's really not my place to, but I certainly don't think that, I don't want to hold anything up either, and I don't know exactly where we're at. I was out of town for the zoning meeting, and I didn't get a notice for the study, but I'm willing to, just those 2 things. That's it. And I think that if those can be worked out, I'd be in full support and look forward to the development. I don't know where we're at on. Is there been a formal site plan approval?
Mr. Krabel, what we're doing is that process now.
Okay, perfect.
What's going to happen is we're going to grant, if we have the potential of granting a waiver use for this property and the site and the approval of the site plans that have been received tonight. And if we offer a recommendation to approve that, that would then go to City Council, and they'll hold their own public hearing as well to get the final approval. So we are a recommending body to the City Council, so there's going to be another couple meetings on this item, even if we do approve it tonight. If we deny it for some reason, the petitioner would have the opportunity to then appeal to the City Council. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Okay, well, as I said, I certainly don't want to get in the way of progress, but we do have some legitimate concerns here. The dumpster, that's kind of a no-brainer. And I apologize, I'm not the tenant next door, so I don't know anything about dumpsters or what's currently happening. But if somebody is violating something on our side, then that'll be remedied immediately. And we just want to be good neighbors. And if I have an opportunity, what I'd really like to do, Steve, if you may, is all you got to do is call me.
Thank you, Mr.
And let's try and work through it. I'm also a developer, so
Thank you.
I feel your pain for.
Thank you.
So that's it. I just wanted to go on the record. I'm very concerned about the cross traffic. Don't know what I'm assuming. 8 pumps. That there's going to be a lot of cars. And one thing I do want to say is, in the past, we did have a significant traffic issue on the site, which I think will be remedied by the closing off of that south alley behind the building. People would, try and beat the light at Newburgh Road. They would turn into that entrance and they'd shoot through. Well, then they end up in a high-traffic area. So it was a safety concern. I think the police, have been stationed up there in the past, but this, would remedy that. So,
Okay.
all right, that's it.
Very good. Appreciate your
Okay.
comments. We'll see what we can do.
Mr. Chair, let me ask you a question.
Of course.
Are you saying that the dumpster proposed location is on your property? Or
Well,
is
it's
it
on my
the-
easement, yeah. Yeah, so it's the petitioner's property, but I have an easement for free egress and ingress, so you can't build a permanent
You have
structure in an
You have an
easement.
egress to come in off Newburgh Road all the way across? Or-
Well, it's the entire, 20 feet from his building to the east is, we control that easement.
20 feet from his building?
From the building, yeah, it might even be, I think there's a drawing that shows it. So again, back to, the dumpster and then also the air pump. I haven't looked into this, I'm just learning about the air pump today, but and I don't even know how frequent or if that would actually be an issue. I mean, we're not unreasonable, it's his property, but we do need to be able to get in and out of there, and we have the right to do that, so.
For your benefit, Mr. Caremagno, the parking spaces along Mr. Crable's building, that space between the property line and his building is perpendicular parking spaces. So anybody who would pull out of a parking space is essentially pulling onto his property to then.
For the easement.
For the
Onto the
during the easement.
Yeah, and then there's an overhead door at the rear of the building, so again, I don't know exactly,
It's definitely a shared space.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I think we got it. Anything else, Mr. Caremagno?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Crable, for your comments. We'll see what we can do for you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
All right, anybody else in the audience wishing to speak on this? If not, any other questions from my colleagues? Anything else, Mr. Long?
Given this new, revelation of the easement, we can't close off the park, the request of.
No, his cars couldn't get back.
Yeah, so I think we've kind of got a catch-22 here. I'm not sure.
Can I comment, please?
Of course, Mr.
Yeah,
Long.
please do.
So this easement was granted by the prior owner for the purpose of ingress and egress. And it doesn't talk about parking or anything like that. The dumpster is way to the back. It does not impede on parking or getting out. It's currently there. It's been operating without any dumpster enclosure for all those years. And the truck goes in and out once a week, if any. If the cars are parked, it would be just like any truck pulling in that he would be receiving for his business. So it would be the same thing. I don't see why this easement is to be limiting my development.
Understood. Mr. Droz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I mean, some of this is between you and Mr. Crable to kind of work out, but reasonably, I'm not really understanding why you can't rotate it and put it behind your building and come in off of Newburgh Road. There's plenty of space back there to fit a dumpster, which is basically the same maneuver. You give him access, you have your dumpster, and it also, prevents cut-throughs. So I guess I'm failing to understand why you can't put it on the south side of the building.
The reason why we can't put it on the south side is we have an existing stormwater sewer. So we cannot build a structure over the stormwater sewer. That's number one. There's not enough space. This requires, there's only 12 feet behind the building. So that we did contemplate putting the dumpster there at one point, because it would have been, an easy in and out, but it would create a lot more traffic hazard for the truck to pull in to pick up the trash and back out into Newburgh Road.
respectfully, I took your dumpster pad and I rotated it and it fits. So I don't really agree with that. And I think from a stormwater perspective, you know, there's other ways to repipe that. And I guess I would encourage you to talk to the engineering department and see if a private storm sewer can pass under a dumpster. And if not, you can go around the building the other way. So to me, it's.
We will work that out with engineering, and we'll see what the best fit for that.
Right. So that's where I'm at on this.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Mr. Joes. Mr. Uhazy.
Just for reference, I was able to pull up, this is the existing status of the dumpster and the buildings for reference.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, so as the petitioner said, it does not impact the parking at all. It's behind, it's further south of the parking at this point, right? The dumpster?
That's what it appears to be.
Okay.
Yes, there's no impact at all with the parking there.
Mr. Caremagno, if you don't mind, a question for you.
Yeah.
Just using your expertise, is a 12-foot wide easement, is that adequate for?
Yeah, of course it is, but the issue with putting it behind the building is now you've got all that dead space. What are you gonna do with all that dead space back there?
Exactly.
That's no longer a thoroughfare then. You can't get through there, so if you wanna drive a car back there, anything back there is no longer a thoroughfare. So what I'm seeing with the dumpster, this clarifies that some for me. It looks like it does not impact any parking or the easement in any substantial way.
It's out of the way. And we plan on putting the snow behind the building as well.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we talked about before.
Yes.
Is that the site has to have somewhere we can put the snow. And right now, there's two dumpsters. There was two dumpsters. The old owner removed his, and the current tenant for Mr. Crable has his currently there.
So is that yours or is that the neighbor's? Crable?
That's well, there's two of them there. If you see, one of them is
Oh, yeah.
Crable's. The blue one is the Republic Waste, and the other one is that was the Bearing Services dumpster.
So it's existing now. All you're gonna do is put an enclosure around it.
Absolutely. All we're doing is complying with the ordinance that you should have a dumpster enclosure.
Yeah. Yeah, you know,
It's out of the way. It's all the way to the back.
when you look at your drawing a little bit here, it shows the pad and the pad doesn't mean anything. That's just cement you're gonna pour.
Cement, yes.
For the pad for the
Yeah.
dumpster. So the dumpster's still set way back on the south.
Yes. Yep.
Property line. Doesn't
Absolutely.
impact any of that east-west parking along that building.
And we actually helped Mr. Crable's site by adding more storm sewer, catch basin. It was not, his property does not have any storm sewer catch basins. So he's actually using our area to drain onto our property, which prior, they had issues with the old owner. I don't have any problem accommodating that.
No matter what, I think you and where Crable go, no matter what, you and him got to talk because there's issues outstanding and it doesn't sound like they're unreasonable to
Sure,
overcome.
I want to be a great neighbor. I hear great things about Mr. Crable. I hear that he's well-connected in the city of Livonia. He's been here for a long time, so I'd like to do business with him.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Any other questions on this item? Beat the dumpster to death?
Wait,
All
that's
right.
important.
All right, is there anything else on this item? I don't hear anything else. Anything else you'd like to tell us, Mr. Hermani?
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Very good, thank you. If there's no other discussion on this item, I'll close the public hearing and a motion would be in order.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Long.
I'd like to offer an approving resolution that the request for a waiver use to construct a gasoline service station and limited carryout located at 13400 Newburgh Road is hereby approved for the following reasons, subject to city council approval and the following conditions. Number one, that the site plan marked sheet 2 dated January 22nd, 2026 as revised, prepared by Michael L. Priest and Associates, is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number 2, that the landscaping plan marked L1 dated January 23rd, 2026 is revised, prepared by Michael L. Priest and Associates is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Do any of these dates need to change as we go through this?
I think they might be dated the same. We'll just have to update like to received by.
Oh, okay. Number 3, that the floor plan and elevations marked by sheets A1, A2, and A3 dated January 28th, 2026, as revised, prepared by Pucci and Volmar Architects PC is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number 4, that the petitioner shall submit a new western elevation plan to reflect the renderings received on February 19th, 2026 to the satisfaction of the planning department and shall be adhered to. Number 5, that the photometric plan dated January 21st, 2026, as revised, prepared by Gasser Bush Associates is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number 6, that all rooftop mechanical equipment shall be concealed from public view on all sides by screening that shall be of a compatible character, material, and color to other exterior materials on the building. Number 7, that the gas pump island canopy shall not exceed 18 feet in height and its support columns shall be covered with the same brick used in the construction of the building. Number 8, that all light fixtures shall not exceed 20 feet in height and shall be aimed and shielded so as to minimize stray light trespassing across property lines and glaring into adjacent roadway. Number 9, that free air shall be provided at all times this station is open for business. The free air shall be dispensed at the point of service without having to enter the station or the performance of any extra action in order to obtain the air without charge. Number 10, that the sale of ice shall be restricted to inside of the building. Number 11, that the petitioner shall install signage to the satisfaction of the planning department restricting unauthorized use of the cross-access drive to neighboring properties. Number 12, that the specific plans referenced in this approving resolution shall be submitted to the inspection department at the time the building permits are applied for. And number 13, this approval is valid for a period of 1 year only from the date of approval by the city council, and unless a building permit is obtained and construction is commenced, this approval shall be null and void at the expiration of said period.
Is there support?
Support?
Support by Mr. Droz. Is there discussion? I would be remiss before we take a vote. There is one question I did want to ask you, Mr. Hamadi. Mr. Kierzinski asked a question about the trees on the south property line.
I'm sorry, yes. I meant to tell you that they are staying where they're at.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for answering that question.
of course,
All
yeah.
right. I just wanted to make sure we didn't lose that.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no this is a motion to approve by Mr. Long and Mr. Droz. Is there any discussion? If not, if the secretary is ready, please call the roll.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Droz.
Aye.
Chair Magno votes aye. Chairman Wilshaw.
Votes aye. Motion passes. We'll go to City Council with an approving recommendation.
Thank you.
Good
Have a
luck with your
night.
project, sir.
Thank you so much.
We now move on to item number 3.
Number 3 is petition 2026-02-02-07, submitted by Greg Marcellus of Livonia Properties LLC, requesting waiver use approval pursuant to sections 3.11 and 6.51 of the Livonian zoning ordinance to operate a full-service restaurant and outdoor seating at 35841 Plymouth Road, located on the south side of Plymouth Road between Yale Avenue and Levan Road in the northeast quarter of Section 32.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Yahazi.
Thank you. This is to operate a full-service restaurant with outdoor seating at 35841 Plymouth Road. This is located on the south side of Plymouth Road, across from the Ford transmission plant. The site size is about 1.93 acres in size, with 334 feet of frontage along Plymouth Road by a depth of 308 feet. The current zoning is C2, general business. This site was previously approved for a planned residential development consisting of 5 buildings and a total of 11 residential units that was never built. The surrounding neighborhoods include, to the west and east, are commercial properties, including the Zach's Car Wash and an auto repair site and U-Haul business that both front along Plymouth Road are zoned C2. To the south is a single-family neighborhood that is part of the Elmira Court subdivision, zoned N1, and to the north is, as I mentioned, the Ford Motor Transmission Plant, zoned M2. The petition is seeking waiver use approval for a one-story building totaling approximately 8,208 square feet in gross floor area. The building would be centrally located on the property with parking provided on all sides to accommodate anticipated demand. The petitioner has indicated that the building elevations and a detailed floor plan will be submitted for Planning Commission review at a subsequent meeting following the preliminary site plan approval, if it is granted. The setbacks are 95 feet from the front, 88 feet from the rear, and 97 feet from the west and east side setbacks. And the proposed building does meet all requirements for setbacks. Access to the site would be, 2 of the 3 drives would be removed. The middle access drive would remain, so currently you can see the 3, There are 3 existing drives. The one to the east, the one to the west would be removed, and the existing one in the center would be remain. For a full-service restaurant, the zoning ordinance requires 1 parking space for each 2 interior seats and 1 parking space for each 3 outside patio seats, plus 1 space for each employee. Since the petitioner does not submitted a floor plan, we were not able to determine the required parking at this time, but alternatively, we can use the ITE parking generation manual. Based off of that manual, the restaurant would require 133 parking spaces. The site plan shows 141 parking spaces, with 5 of them being ADA accessible spaces. One thing to note, these parking spaces are single striped, with some striped at a width of 9, and some of them parked at a width of 10. At the study session, the petitioner did mention that the 9-foot spaces are anticipated for employees. The dumpster would be located on the southeast corner of the property, and it would be facing to the west. The proposed enclosure meets all zoning ordinance requirements. The photometric plan submitted shows that it would meet all zoning ordinance requirements as well. And then the landscaping plan shows 8 deciduous trees, 4 ornamental trees, and 72 shrubs, satisfying the landscaping requirements. It also shows 111 arborvitaes along the south property line adjacent to the existing 6-foot wall to further shield the residential property to the south. The site plan cites that there would be underground storage would be installed under the front parking lot, and I did share the PRDA fencing elements with the petitioner for future consideration, I guess I should say. And then I also have some correspondence I can read.
Sure, go ahead.
From the Engineering Division, in accordance with your request, the Engineering Division has reviewed the above referenced petition. We have no objections to the proposed project at this time, but would like to note the following items. 1, the subject parcel is assigned the address of 35841 Plymouth Road. Should additional addresses be needed, the owner will need to contact this department once approvals have been obtained. 2, the existing parcels are currently serviced by public sanitary sewer, water main, and storm sewer. We do not believe this development will impact the existing systems negatively. 3, the proposed development will be required to meet the Wayne County Stormwater Ordinance, and per the submitted drawings, stormwater detention is indicated, but we will need to do a thorough review of the plans once they are submitted for permitting. Depending on the location of the final outlet for stormwater, permitting may be required through Wayne County Department of Public Service. 4, any disturbances within the Plymouth Road right-of-way will require permits through the Michigan Department of Transportation, including drive approach and sidewalk removal and replacements. 5, The submittal will be required to be reviewed by the Plymouth Road, the submittal will be required to be reviewed by the Plymouth Road Development Authority and obtain permits as necessary. This is signed David Lear, Assistant City Engineer. From the Fire Marshal's Office, the office has reviewed the site plan submitted in connection with the new construction and use of the property located at the above referenced address. No objections to the proposal with the stipulations. IFC 2021 shall be utilized, not IFC 2015 as listed on the plan set. If provided with an automatic sprinkler system and on-site hydrants shall be located at distance prescribed by fire code for the fire department connection. Sprinkler permit and plans are a required submission to the building department. Fire protection detection and monitoring shall be installed and reported. Fire alarm permits and plans are required submission to the building department. Knox box must be installed for fire department access. Any site-specific issues will be addressed during the life safety inspection. A further detailed plan review will take place when this division receives an official plan set. Signed, Brian Kukula, Fire Marshal. From the Police Department, I have reviewed the plans in connection with this petition. I have no objections to the proposal. Signed, Brendan Adams, Traffic Bureau. From the Department of Inspection, pursuant to your request, the above referenced petition has been reviewed. 1. Exterior lighting sources shall be designed, constructed, located, and maintained in a manner that minimizes light trespass into the neighboring properties and public ways. The light trespass from a property shall not exceed 0.5 candlefoot candles at the property line measured 5 feet from the ground. 2. All signage shall be conforming. A variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals would be required for any non-conforming signage. 3. Grease interceptors shall be designed and shall perform in the manner provided for in Chapter 10 of the Michigan Plumbing Code. All grease interceptors shall be properly installed and maintained in working order and shall be kept free from obstructions, leaks, and defects, and shall be capable of performing the function for which such devices are designed, as specific herein. All grease interceptors shall be maintained in a safe, sanitary, and functional condition. The city shall be granted access to conduct on-site inspections as necessary to ensure compliance with Chapter 13.42 of the Livonia Code of Ordinances. 4. All existing and proposed landscaping areas must have functioning irrigation systems installed. 5. Parking shall be 10 by 20 double-striped, barrier-free spaces will be properly sized, signed, and striped. This department has no further objections to the petition. Signed, Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection. From the Department of Finance, I've reviewed the address connected with the above noted petition. As there are no outstanding amounts receivable, I have no objections to the proposal. Signed, Benjamin Greer. And finally, from the Treasury Department, the owner of this property is current on their property tax. Signed, Susan Nash, City Treasurer.
Thank you, Mr. Uhazy. Any questions for staff? Our petitioner is in the audience. Feel free to come to our podium. Good evening, sirs.
Good evening, Roman Bonoslawski, Ron and Roman, 275 East Frank Street, Birmingham, Michigan, 48009.
Good evening, Greg Marcellus, 1056 Autumn View Court, Rochester, Michigan.
Very good. Thank you for coming tonight. What would you like to tell us about your request?
Well, I thought the study session was very thorough. We look forward to coming in front of you with the design of the building. We've received the standards for the site walls that were discussed. I've spoken with my business partner, and we will be doing a hardscaped wall in the front, although it currently meets the requirements with the landscaping, but we're in agreement that that's a much more stately presentation for the property. I want to clear one thing up that was stated. We're actually utilizing all three sides, the front and the two sides for the underground storage. We're already working with a civil engineer, and he's already told us that without going to super oversized pipes, we're going to need that area in which to accomplish that. With the supplementary information I received today, we'll be submitting full engineering stormwater calculations, everything to do with that. As I mentioned previously, we wanted to get through the site plan process before spending too much of the owner's money with regards to any potential problems that might have occurred getting this far in the process. And then I would have just one question to finalize, is the statement made by the traffic consultant, by the engineering department that reviewed the traffic that said all the spaces shall be double striped and 10 feet. When we had our initial Zoom meeting with the planner, at that time, he told us that we would have the opportunity to utilize some 9-foot spaces if we wanted to for the parking of the employees. I know there were questions raised whether we're overparked on the property. You'll find that we're not once the final occupancy loads come in based on the design of the restaurant. But I just wanted to clear that up, whether or not that, because that's going to affect us by probably 4 or 5 spaces. And like I said, currently using the standard that was used in reviewing the required parking, we're over by 7 or 8 parking spaces. I don't remember the exact number, but my only concern then would be, because I know that about 38% of the interior of the restaurant is the food service production area. The rest is the front seating and our employee counts. I just want to make sure that we don't end up shy of parking when we get to that point. Aside from that, Greg, anything you want to add to that?
No, we're just excited. You know, we also own the Black Label Tavern down the road. We've been there for over 9 years. As you guys know, it's a staple in the community, and we're very grateful to be here. It's actually one of our best producing stores, and we're very grateful that we're here, and we're really excited about this opportunity. And just like Black Label Tavern, we'll promise you we'll build an even bigger and greater and beautiful store for years to come.
Excellent. Thank you, gentlemen, for your comments. Mr. Uhazi, as I understand it, 9-foot spaces are allowed for employee parking, but they still would need to be double striped, correct?
No problem.
Correct, I believe.
Yeah, so there is an allowance for 9-foot spaces in the case of employee parking, but we'll just probably require that those be double striped to keep with city standards.
No problem.
So those are details too that can also be fleshed out as we move along in the site plan process as we go forward with this item. So any questions for our petitioner from any of my colleagues? Anything, Sam? You're good? All right.
I'm good.
No questions? All right. Anybody in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Go ahead and come to our podium, sir. Thank you for coming this evening. Good evening.
Glenn Openlander. I am at 35824, so we're right behind the wall there. Just a couple questions, concerns. It mentions full service. Does that mean alcohol?
Full service means sit-down dining as
Sit-down
opposed
dining.
to limited service dining.
Okay. Is there alcohol going to be?
Alcohol has not been discussed at this point, but I would think most large restaurants are probably going to request a license. That'll come in a future request. if
Yeah,
they
a
want
little
one.
concerned about that because when the, I believe it was Kickers, was just a couple, 2 lots over from this area. There was an occasional can or bottle would come over the wall. You'd see it. And down there to the west, the restaurant Kickers and the Indian restaurant there now has a huge parking lot, and it goes all the way to the wall, but there's no homes on that side of Elmira. The homes are on the south side. So it's not a bother. My concern is if alcohol is involved, am I going to have bottles and cans flying into my yard? It's people are people, but I'd rather not have cans and bottles flying into my yard if that's possible. I did hear the recommendation of arborvitaes and things would be put along the wall for our privacy to maybe prevent that kind of thing. Did I hear that right?
Yes, there is, Mr. Uhazi, there is proposed landscaping along the south wall. Is that correct?
Correct.
So there would
That
be
goes a
combination of-
long way
Yeah.
to satisfying us. We're used to that. It used to be a really beautiful forested area. It's kind of what attracted a lot of us to the homes here. My one neighbor, Paul Livingston over there, he has beautiful arborvitaes, and it's like a private island. So if something like that's possible, it would be greatly appreciated, just to prevent, nobody wants to look at a restaurant 24 hours a day or see things flying over the wall. The other concern I have is it mentions outdoor dining, and in the warm summer months, we'd like to have our windows open, and we're going to hear music and parties and stuff. Or would that outdoor dining be in the front of the restaurant, like the Black Label down the road?
I'll respond when
Yeah.
I'm asked by the board.
We'll get back to that. Right now, the plan is showing outdoor patios that are on the sides of the building, up toward the front, but mind you, this is a preliminary site plan that we're looking to approve. This isn't fully fleshed out details. They will come back with a full detailed plan, and there'll be opportunities for us to talk about things like, if there's going to be outdoor speakers or music or things like that. So
That's what I mean.
we're not quite there at this stage of the game.
Please, we're not trying to prevent progress or anybody from their business, but, if there's people not far from your home partying and laughing, which is good, but we open our window and we hear that all the time. Are the hours of this restaurant late?
We don't know those yet.
Okay,
That's not determined at this point.
You can see those two things go together.
Yes.
Partying, having fun till midnight or something isn't fun for sleeping.
Sure.
It's a small lot in a sense, because like when you have the car wash and the Kickers, they go all the way from Plymouth Road all the way literally to Elmira.
Much deeper.
And our homes kind of jut into this, so it's tight, which is our concern basically. The arborvitaes go a long way, so that I really appreciate that. That was my statement in the housing they were going to put in there. Please put in arborvitaes, so it sounds like somebody remembered that concept.
Yes.
I'm glad for that. I appreciate the pay. Oh, and the dumpster will be somewhat near the restaurant? They're not going to put it against the back wall there, are they?
It's not shown to be at the back wall, no. It's toward the southeast corner of the property, but it's significantly off the property line.
Restaurant dumpsters have a lot of waste in them, and just hoping it doesn't create odors for us homeowners.
Sure.
Other than that, the arborvitaes go a long way, and if they can just keep the outdoor dining more towards the front is our request, I think.
Those are, Mr. Openlander, we appreciate you bringing all those questions and thoughts to us, because those give us things that we can think about as we move forward with this, and also the petitioner as well. So.
Yeah, and like I say, I'm not trying to stop it at all, just to make sure, like, the outdoor dining isn't in the back, right against the wall. It'd be a nightmare. And the homes along the wall there, the 5 homes, 6 homes, some of them are 2 stories. My home is a 2-story. The lighting can be directed down a little bit, I heard something about I'm not a lighting expert.
Yeah, so lighting is something we're very sensitive to these days, and making sure that it's downward facing and does not stray into any of the adjacent properties.
And I guess while I'm here, and I'm all done now, but there is a U-Haul garage on one side of that property, and then there's the car wash on the other one, the Jack's, I think it is. And I've tried to get through to the city engineering group, and I've spoken to both of those companies, buildings, owners. The lights are shining into our home really bad. They are not angled down at all. We have to close our rear windows to that north-facing wall, because at night the lights are not down at all. And if somebody could maybe speak to the Jack's Car Wash and to the garage on the other side, and just, we're not trying to say no lights, but if they could put them down, because they're really bright. We have to close our windows.
Yes.
And here's another restaurant, but it sounds like it's in the works to put them down. So
yes,
I don't know if I guess I'm asking for your help if somebody could look into those 2 businesses.
We
if they
we
could just
can
tilt
make
their
some
lights.
inquiries and find out about that, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I appreciate everything and the time.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you for your comments.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you.
Anyone else in the audience wishing to speak on this item? Mr. Openlander did an excellent job, thank you.
Can I
Anything-
respond, just
Yes.
for the sake of response?
Please, go ahead.
First of all, even the name Kickers suggests to me that there would be a beer can thrown on occasion. I'd like to stress that this is a casual fine dining establishment. That's really all we typically get involved with. With regards to the arborvitae, first of all, with regards to the site layout, we stayed well off of the back property line. In fact, the arborvitaes are not only for the purpose of protecting the homes behind us, but it's also a backdrop for viewing the restaurant from the road, because it's really terrible to see a nice-looking building with a really crappy-looking wall behind there. And then I'll just continue for one moment. We did maintain a rather large buffer off that back area. We were very cognizant of that. I personally had walked that site to see what was going on with the homes that were behind there. That issue is one that is important to us. And with regards to the dumpster, that dumpster not only is held off from where the parking starts, but an additional 20 feet beyond that, and it's oriented in such a way that it's only seen from the back of the building, not towards the front of the building. And with regards to the patios are off to the sides of the building up front. And again, I would just stress, though, we will present the entire food concept and the liquor concept and everything else. This is a casual fine dining establishment meant for everybody, and not at least the way I've never seen Kickers, but the name itself, it was a sports bar.
Yeah.
Well,
It was a-
that says a lot, right there.
Slash nightclub.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're not.
we're not either one of those two things.
All right, thank you, sir, for those comments.
And I appreciate you bringing that up, because there is one other thing I wanted to mention. They tore that forested area out of there. There are a couple extremely large trees that are now standing alone, and I've called the city on it. I'm a little concerned when it's real windy or stormy. I'm a little concerned it's going to drop on the house. Might they be cleaning all that mess up? It's just, a bunch of
Everything-
like old elms that are just a mess.
There are more of them on the adjacent property, but we are proposing to clear everything off of the property and
Put new lights.
all new.
Yeah, I mean, it'll look better for everybody.
And our
too.
lighting too, just for the sake of continuity, our lighting, we work with Claris Lighting constantly on every one of our projects. We're well underneath the 0.5-foot candles around the entire property, and we have cutoff fixtures that are specifically designed to keep the light on our property.
Yeah. I'm not worried. I mean, just as long as it's down, not pointing at the house.
All right.
So, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for those comments. Any other questions for our petitioner? Any other comments from anyone else? If not, anything else you'd like to say before we make our decision?
No, thank you. Appreciate you having heard us.
Just
today.
excited, and hopefully you guys give us another opportunity like you did with Black Label. And
Yes, and again, this is, we're moving rather quickly on this tonight because, we are waiting for a lot more detail from you. I'm sure we'll see that back here shortly, and we'll have a lot more discussion on the fine details of your dining establishment. So
I'm hoping to surprise you with something that everybody's going to love. So.
I have high expectations that you will.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there's nothing else to say, I am going to close the public hearing, and a motion would be in order.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Droz.
I'd like to make an approving resolution. The request for the waiver use to construct a full-service restaurant at 35,841 Plymouth Road is hereby approved for the following reasons, subject to city council approval and the following conditions. Condition number one, that the site plan identified as sheet S100, prepared by Ronan Droman Architects, dated January 23rd, 2026, is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number two, that the landscape plan identified as sheet L100, prepared by Ronan Droman Architects, dated January 23rd, 2026, is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. That the petitioner shall return to the Planning Commission for review and approval of the following items prior to final site plan approval. Point one, that detailed building elevations, architectural renderings depicting all sides of the structure, including materials, specifications, and color schemes. Point number two, that the sign location details, including size, placement, and method of illumination. Point number three, the utility plan identifying water, sewer, storm sewer, and other public and private utility connections. Point number four, a circulation plan demonstrating adequate on-site maneuverability for service vehicles, including garbage trucks, delivery vehicles, and emergency apparatus. Point number four, that all light fixtures shall not exceed 20 feet in height and shall be aimed and shielded so as to minimize light stray, trespass across property lines, and glaring onto adjacent roadways and residential properties. Number five, that the petitioner shall work with the Planning Department and the Plymouth Road Development Authority to install additional landscaping along Plymouth Road, noted that being the decorative masonry walls that was noted by the applicant as well as planning. Point number six, that all existing landscaped areas shall be cleaned up, remanaged, and permanently maintained in healthy condition. Item number seven, that all rooftop mechanical equipment shall be concealed from public view on all sides by screening that shall be compatible character with material and color to the exterior materials of that building that's detailed. And point number eight, that the approval is valid for 1 year from the date of approval from City Council, and unless a building permit is obtained, this approval shall be null and void at the expiration of said period.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, if the
Mr. Chair.
secretary, Mr. Uhazy.
May I suggest just some things that were mentioned in some of the correspondence, installing irrigation system, as well as double striping the parking.
The maker is okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Supporter is okay with that?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Uhazy. Is there any other discussion on the motion? If not, if the secretary is ready, please call the roll.
Mr. Droz.
Aye.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Caremagno votes aye. Chairman Wilshaw.
Votes aye, motion passes. We'll go to City Council with an approving recommendation.
Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yes, good luck with your project. All right, this closes the public hearing section of our agenda, and we now move on to miscellaneous items, item number 4.
Petition 2026-01-08-01, submitted by Marwan Haidar on behalf of M Corp Holdings LLC, requesting site plan approval under sections 13.13 of the Livonia zoning ordinance as amended to demolish the existing gas station and fuel pumps at 29230 5 Mile Road and construct a new gas station, convenience store, and pumps located on the northeast corner of Middle Belt Road and 5 Mile Road in the southwest quarter of Section 13.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Uhazy.
Thank you. This is a request to demolish the existing gas station and fuel pumps and construct a new gas station, convenience store, and fuel pumps located on the northeast corner of Middle Belt Road and 5 Mile. The site is currently zoned C2, as well as the surrounding properties. To the west is the CVS Pharmacy, Florist, McDonald's. To the east is a pet supply store. To the south is an automobile repair shop. And to the north is a clothing store. The proposed one-story car station and carryout establishment would be approximately 2,797 square feet in size. It's constructed 81 and a half feet from 5 Mile Road and approximately 76 feet from Middle Belt Road. Access to the site would be from Middle Belt Road and 5 Mile Roads. The circulation plan shows a truck coming from the westbound 5 Mile along the west side of the property to the underground tank. After refueling the station, the tanker would exit along the northernmost exit onto Middle Belt Road. The petitioner shows an underground fuel tank to the west of the proposed building. One thing to note is that the petitioner has proposed reducing the drive widths and change the turning radiuses to match the Wayne County requirements. Parking for the site is to have at least 6 spaces. That's for the gas station portion. The carryout restaurant is approximately 300 square feet in size, which would require 3 parking spaces. The petitioner has stated that there'd be 1 expected employee for that food service area. It would bring the Total required spaces for parking at 10. The zoning ordinance does allow for the alternative parking standards as the ITE parking generation manual. Under these considerations, the required parking would be 7 spaces. The site plan shows a total of 7 spaces, one of which is barrier-free. The site plan does show a proposed trash enclosure on the northwest corner of the building. The bricks would match the exterior of the building, and the plan shows a 6-foot-tall masonry wall and the dumpster gate made of solid metal panels. The canopy for the new fueling center would have 3 gas pumps to accommodate 6 cars. The pump island would run parallel to Millbelt Road frontage, and the canopy plan shows a height of 17 feet. The canopy would be non-illuminated. The petitioner satisfies the height requirements for gas station canopies. The landscape plan requires 3 deciduous trees, 1 ornamental, and 22 shrubs. Along Middle Belt and along 5 Mile, there should be 3 trees, 1 ornamental tree, and 24 shrubs. The petitioner only shows 8 trees and 38 shrubs. The lighting plan shows there will be 2 18-foot light poles, 1 over the northwest approach and 1 over the southeast approach. There will also be 2 light fixtures mounted on the principal structure, 1 on the west side of the building and 1 on the south side of the building. Measurable light levels spill beyond the property, which may impact adjacent properties. The exterior lighting should be properly shielded and directed downward to limit glare and avoid distractions. The elevation plan shows the facade will be primarily of security glass with accents of ACM, dark gray faced brick, and dark brown composite siding along the front facade. A color rendering was provided here as well. The interior floor plan shows a large retail area, takeout restaurant, cashier counter area, cooler, office, and unisex bathroom, as well as the petitioner did add the free air along the north property line by the loading area in front of the dumpster. And then I have some correspondence I can read as well.
Yes, please.
From the Engineering Division, in accordance with your request, the Engineering Division has reviewed the above referenced petition. We have no objections to the proposed project at this time, but would like to note the following items. 1, the subject parcel is assigned the address of 15300 Middlebelt Road. The business is currently using the address of 292305 5 Mile Road, although it was never officially assigned to this property. If they wish to continue using the 5 Mile Road address instead of the official Middlebelt Road address, the owner will need to submit a request to this department for an official change of address. 2, the existing parcel is currently serviced by public sanitary sewer and water main. The submitted drawings do not include any proposed utility information or calculations, but based on the project scope, we do not believe there will be any negative impact on the existing systems. 3, drainage from the proposed building shall not be shed onto the neighboring properties, and downspouts shall need to be directed to their own parking lot. 4, the owner will need to submit proposed engineering drawings so that to this department once planning approvals have been obtained to determine what permits will be required in association with utility revisions. 5, drawings shall be submitted to the Wayne County Department of Public Service for comments on access control and possible permitting for the removal of existing approaches if required by the county. Signed, David Lear, Assistant City Engineer. From the Fire Department, the office has reviewed the site plan submitted in connection with the new construction and use of the property located at the above referenced address. No objections to the proposal with the stipulations. 1, follow state codes and regulations for scheduled inspections and code compliance. 2, provide appropriate documentation for the removal and install of the underground storage tanks. 3, provide the appropriate documentation, permits, plans of all cooking operations. A further detailed plan review will take place when the division receives an official plan set. Signed, Brian Kukla, Fire Marshal. From the Police Department, I have reviewed the plans in connection with the petition. I have no objections to the proposal. Please feel free to contact me should you have any questions. Signed, Paul Walters, Sergeant of the Traffic Bureau. From the Department of Inspection. Pursuant to a request, the above referenced petition has been reviewed. 1, parking spaces shall be 10 feet wide and 20 feet deep and double striped. 2, van accessible barrier-free parking shall be sized, signed, and marked in accordance with the Michigan Barrier-Free Code. The minimum size shall be 8 feet wide parking space and an 8-foot wide hashed area. The proposed barrier-free parking spot does not conform as shown. 3, the dumpster enclosure must be constructed of the same or compatible material and colors as the principal building in terms of texture and quality. The walls of the enclosure shall be a minimum of 6 feet in height or 1 foot above the dumpster, whichever is greater. The enclosure gates shall be solid panel steel construction or durable, long-lasting solid panel fiberglass, and when not in use, closed at all times. 4, exterior lighting sources shall be designed, constructed, located, and maintained in a manner that minimizes light trespass onto neighboring properties and public right-of-ways. The light trespass from the property should not exceed 0.5 candles at the property line measured 5 feet from the ground. 5, lighting underneath the canopy shall not exceed 20-foot candles above or over the average of the area. 6, signage shall be conforming to the ordinance. Any non-conforming signage would require a variance from the Zoning Board of Appeals. This department has no further objections to this petition. Signed, Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection. From the Finance Department, I have reviewed the address connected with the above noted petition. The following amounts are due to the City of Livonia. Unpaid permit of $88. Signed, Benjamin Greer, Director of Finance. This is from the Treasury Department. The owner of the property is current on their property taxes. Signed, Susan Nash, City Treasurer. That is all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Uhasi. Any questions for staff? If not, our petitioner is in the audience. Feel free to come forward. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Name and address for our record.
Michael Baydoun, 4320 Pratt Road, Ann Arbor, Michigan, 48103.
Thank you, Mr. Baydoun. What would you like to tell us about the request to redevelop this gas station?
Well, actually, we're making a complete makeup of that corner right there. So even including shrinking out the driveways, which I believe one of them is about 60 feet right now, and it's shared with the next door neighbor, so we're shrinking it down. And by shrinking it down, actually, that helped us create more parking into the property and creating some kind of a berm, as you can see right there on 5 Mile. Mm-hmm. So, and accommodating actually the site or fulfilling the requirements of the Wayne County. Of course, those still, the approaches still have to go in front of them based on the radiuses and all that. And I know we're not allowed to have anything more than 30 feet in width. So we try to comply with that. We will be taking the sign out and comply with the monument sign. Mm-hmm. And as far as the lighting, we will make sure that it's shielded and does not spill to the next door. And when it comes up to engineering, we do have a topographical survey is almost done right now. As soon as that one there is done, we will be sending the project to a civil engineer, and that will be designing the underground and all that kind of stuff to comply with all the requirements. As far as that address, for some reason, I kept looking that one when I was going on Google, but we will probably try to keep the address. I will talk to the owner about it if he likes to keep that address. If it's not, we'll pay the fees and move on. Mm-hmm. I really worked hard this time and trying to give you something as far as the truck route.
Yes, we see that.
And something I learned from the last meeting, actually, as far as gasoline tankers. Even if you have a 20,000 underground tank for storage, or 22 or 30,000, the law that will not allow you to transport gasoline for more than, I believe, 9,800 gallons can actually travel on the road. And usually the tanker for that, it usually comes in at like 35 feet, maximum 40 feet. So it's not a 60-foot tankers. There is nothing like that. And usually, even if you have a 20,000 gallon underground storage, you will not be ordering 20,000 at the same time. So You order some of what you actually need or you think that you need for that week or a few days and things like that. And as far as delivery, most of them actually will be delivering the tank, the gas actually either early in the morning or late or after midnight. So, other than that, if you have any question,
Let's see if there's any questions for you. Any questions for our petitioner?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Droz.
One. And maybe this is something as you engage your civil engineer to talk with our city engineering department. That southern driveway on Middle Belt, you narrowed it up. Is there any chance that you could close it all together just from a traffic safety perspective? Because that would also help with your landscape because you would get some more green space back. Is it something that you could look at potentially?
I can take a look at that one there, but in small sites like that or at gas stations, once you close those approaches, it's going to be very hard for a fire truck or for safety reason to come in. I mean, or in another word, you'll kill the business. But we'll take it under consideration. I'll see if we can talk to the engineer. You're asking only for one, right?
Just the one, yeah. You obviously need the one for the gas truck. So I'm not suggesting taking the one on 5 Mile, but if you don't need the one in Middle Belt, from a traffic safety perspective, I think it helps.
Because, you know what, you might be right, because you just need to get the customer in and out. And if the customer comes in there and get trapped, he will never come back there the next time. And yeah, I do believe if they're coming from 5 Mile, they can go straight Middle Belt and all that.
That's one. And then the only other thing is, at least on you're kind of adding some parking spaces. I think I saw bumper blocks. Could you do actual like curb and gutter along there just to kind of formalize that eastern edge of your property?
Do I have bumper? Well, we will have a curb and gutter, and also, I don't know, if you're not a fan of the bumper block, that will actually prevent them from parking, you know, the car extended over the curb and gutters. That's the reason.
It's more of a finished look to me than just putting those bumper blocks in, just my personal preference. But.
We will actually have, because we will have curb and gutters no matter what. But if you don't like the bumper blocks, we'll take them out.
You can have them both, but I think, in a minimum, I think you should have the curb and gutter.
It will be actually laid out when we do the engineering and the concrete and the grades and all that. It will be actually showing up right there.
Thank you. I'm good, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Droz.
Mr. Chair, I got something, I got a couple things. The rendering of the building, what is that lower dark panel on the front of that building? What is that?
You mean by the windows?
Under the windows, what is that lower dark panel?
It's actually full glass from the finished floor all the way up. But instead of putting glass, it will be like some kind of an ACM or a material.
What kind of material?
Maybe ACM, even the aluminum composite materials.
Aluminum panels.
Aluminum panels. Is there any reason we can't have brick along the bottom of this building? Some sort of rock, some sort of stone, make it look a little better?
The same thing like on the side?
Yeah, something down along the front.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I think that's better. I mean, I've seen this window or tin down to the floor at many other stations, and it's not sightly. Looks like hell.
Okay, you got it.
So that's number one. Second thing is the dumpster enclosure on the back of the building. It's going to go into that notched area of the building.
Correct.
I would encourage you to make sure that's plenty large in the event the dumpster goes back. And do you plan on putting bollards in on the building sides of the enclosure?
Of course. That'll be, I don't know if you see it in the dumpster.
I didn't see it on there.
It's not in there. Yeah, there is bollard, like, if you look at it.
Where they at?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah, there is bollard right there, and even on the floor.
On both sides and in the back?
And on all four corners, actually. And it'll be like a 6-inch, and it's away actually a little bit from the building.
Yeah, just in case. When it butts up to the building like that, a dumpster slips off there and go right through the building.
I understand that. I would have put it on the outside of the building, but it's going to be look ugly like hell. And then that's where we have actually, I would gain more square footage inside the building if I take it out.
Just make sure there's plenty of space, plenty of width. Sometimes you put them bollards in, doesn't allow for the proper truck to get in there. Dumpster's one thing, truck's another. Make sure it's plenty wide.
Got it.
Okay, thank you.
I'll take a look at that and
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Baidoon. Any other questions? One question for you. Rooftop mechanicals, are you going to have screening, or are those going to be visible at all?
can we pull the elevation plans up? Please,
Mr. Uhazy will
Did I
get the
include it in
elevations
this one?
line up.
right there. I really drew it, but probably I did not include it in this set. But it is, well, it will be shielded.
So you're going to have shielding around the rooftop mechanicals?
Correct. We
There
still
is a
have
note.
like,
Oops, excuse me.
Go ahead.
There is a note, all rooftop shall be screened.
Okay, very good.
I know I put something there, but
All right. I just
Okay.
want to make sure we have that, 'cause sometimes that gets missed.
no, definitely.
All right. Any other questions from anyone? Anyone in our audience wishing to speak on this item? Anything else you'd like to tell us?
Just give me an approval so I can move to the next site.
Let's see what we can do for you. If there's no other comments or questions, a motion is in order.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Long.
I'd like to offer an approving resolution that the request for a waiver use to demolish the existing gas station and fuel pumps and construct a new gas station, convenience store, and fuel pumps at 29230 5 Mile Road is hereby approved for the following reasons, subject to city council approval and the following conditions. Number one, that the demolition plan identified as sheet AS 100 prepared by A&M Consultants dated December 22nd, 2025 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number two, that the site plan identified as sheet AS 101 prepared by A&M Consultants dated February 16th, 2026 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number three, that the canopy plan identified as sheet AS 1012 prepared by A&M Consultants dated February 2nd, 2026 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number four, that the landscaping plan identified as sheet LS 100 prepared by A&M Consultants dated February 16th, 2026 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number five, that the elevation plan identified as sheet A101 prepared by A&M Consultants dated February 16th, 2026 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number six, that the floor plan identified as sheet A100 prepared by A&M Consultants dated February 2nd, 2026 is hereby approved and shall be adhered to. Number seven, that the gas pump island canopy shall not exceed 18 feet in height and its support columns shall be covered with the same brick used in the construction of the building. Number eight, that all light fixtures shall not exceed 20 feet in height and shall be aimed and shielded so as to minimize stray light trespassing across property lines and glaring into the adjacent roadway. Number nine, that free air shall be provided at all times that this station is open for business. The free air shall be dispensed at the point of service without having to enter the station or the performance of any extra action in order to obtain the air without charge. Number 10, that the specific plans referenced in this approving resolution shall be submitted to the inspection department at the time the building permits are applied for. And number 11, this approval is valid for the period of 1 year only from the date of approval by city council, and unless a building permit is obtained, this approval shall be null and void at the expiration of said period.
Is there support?
Support. I have one additional condition potentially.
Go ahead, Mr. Gross.
That the applicant explore closure of the southern driveway along Middlebelt Road and use that additional space generated by removal of the driveway to meet the landscaping requirements.
Acceptable.
Okay. Did you also want to throw in the change of the front facade to have the
Yes.
stone at the
Yeah.
bottom?
Include either stone or I think you were saying stone or brick along the base of the,
I made a note on it. I would rather actually have it the same kind of brick like on the side. It will look right with it.
Okay.
Same brick, like with the gray brick right there. It will look,
Okay.
it will look awesome like that.
Yeah, I think we're okay with that,
Okay.
and I'm acceptable.
Okay. Any other changes, edits?
Mr.
Everyone?
Chair,
Mr. Uhazy.
can I also propose that the compliance with the ADA parking as noted from the inspection?
Maker's okay with that?
Maker is okay with that.
Supporter's okay? All right. Anything else? If not, is there any other questions? All right. Secretary's ready. Call the roll.
Mr. Long.
Aye.
Mr. Droz.
Aye.
Chair Magno votes aye. Chairman Wilshaw.
Votes aye. Motion passes. We'll go to City Council with an approving recommendation. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
We have one item left on our agenda.
The approval of the minutes of the 1,241st public hearing and regular meeting held by the Planning Commission on February 3rd, 2026.
All members were present. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Is there support? All right, we have Mr. Caremagno and Mr. Long. Is there any objection to showing 4? I hear no objection. We'll mark that approved. That takes us to the end of our agenda. Is there any other business to come before the Planning Commission? If not, a motion to adjourn is in order.
So moved.
By Mr. Long, supported by
Support.
Mr. Droz. And again, if there's no objection, we'll show 4 on that. I hear no objection. That takes us to the end of our meeting. I'd like to thank Livonia Television staff for bringing this meeting to the community and wish a good night. The meeting's going to adjourn at 8:50 p.m. Good night, Livonia.